hear from everybody, but if you will indulge me a moment of silence as this nation at this moment is celebrating and commemorating our 39th president of the United States at his Thank you. And if I didn't say this, we will be convening our meeting. And my co-chair, I'm pleased to have an opportunity again to work with Representative Meskers. And Representative Meskers, if you would like to make some opening remarks, sir.
I want to thank my co-chair, and there was no fee exchange for the compliment, so I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to the work of the committee. I expect my only preliminary argument will be with Representative Vail when we attempt to raise placeholders or concepts so that we can raise the thoughts and business of the committee. Basically, structurally, a lot of the work we do, we've been working over the course of summer. You'll hear more about the Mystic Tourism Bill later on, but we've been working, and a lot of the issues and agenda items comes both through the agencies and the various industry groups. So we'll be trying to create forums and formats where people can place their ideas before us to give rise to see whether there's opportunity for some of the bills. So there will be some concepts here. I know I'll be challenged, but I respect the position that he'd prefer to see the cake baked before we present it. But I think procedurally, we can expect to do logistically hearings on subject matter to see if there's the meat and potatoes for reasonable bills for reforms. I'll point just to yesterday's opening speech by the governor, where he leaned in on the process of applications. So I immediately was in the governor's office and said, applications from which agencies, and who do I need to get in front of me to present to look at how we can speed up in the course of business in the state. So I'll be waiting to hear through the various agencies if there are specific regulatory refrains they need. So I'll ask the forbearance of the committee as we raise concepts at some point. But I want to thank everyone. Particularly, I want to welcome, as the member of the lower chamber, or the higher chamber, depending how you look at it, I want to welcome our new members. There's John Santinella. There's Eilish, I have to take off my glasses, Eilish Collin Mayer. And I also want to recognize John Backus, who has joined us as a first-time legislator. So welcome to the group. And yes, John Santinella. Did I miss? I thought I got John in the beginning. All right, and welcome all of you to the committee. I'm looking forward to working with you. As historically, I think my worst bill in the House was about 145 votes in favor. So generically, we managed to do good bipartisan work here. So I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks.
Thank you, Representative Meskers. And without going any further, I want to, of course, recognize the group that really makes all this happen, and that is our clerk, Patricia Kramer, the glue, cog in the wheel. Also from Senate Democratic staff is Ashley Redding. And speaking about the glue, it is our LCO staff. New with us this round is Joe Brennan Riley. And also Nick Panzarella is visiting, but he's always a go-to as well, having been here with us in Commerce previously. And we've got our OLR staff, and we're so happy to welcome back Sarah Lesser. And also returning to us, I think, is Ruth Pennell. And Ruth, you were with us, I don't know, some years ago, right? Yeah, so welcome back. And of course, Emily Waleniski, who has been steadfast with us. So thank you so much. And we've got a visiting temporary clerk today from, I'm told, Judiciary, and thanks for being with us. So just to frame our work as we go into this long session, we are very excited about our colleagues on this committee, and I just want to say that this is Team Commerce. And on Team Commerce, there aren't different sides of the table. We're all around the table. And so it's very important to know that we want to work with each and every one of you, and we're going to ask you to share with us what you might be interested in specifically in regards to the Commerce Committee. But we have, over the most recent years, done some things that I think have really been landmarks in the state, one of which was instituting the office of the Chief Manufacturing Officer, which happened to be very fortuitous because it was in 19, and lo and behold, what then rolled out was the pandemic. And were it not for that position, which was on the executive level through the Department of Economic and Community Development, Connecticut would not have been as nimble and positioned to deal with the pandemic as we did in connecting with manufacturers and private sector, quite frankly, keeping our manufacturing sector open through that most challenging time. And we've, in this committee, dealt with things that you would think maybe do not exactly apply. And one was childcare. We've established the fact that childcare is an economic driver, and that continues to be an issue that, is before us, and you'll be hearing more about that globally in the legislature this year. And workplace issues, workforce issues, obviously translate very prominently into the state's economy and our ability to attract and keep business. And we've done probably some more mundane things like trying to clean up some of our historic preservation operations, and also one that will also be before the General Assembly this year in multiple committees is going to be this issue, and it's mundane, but so important to the economy of the state of Connecticut, and that was the Transfer Act. And for 4 years, it started here in this committee. It has been a work, but quite frankly, it wasn't just 4 years. It's been like 25 years that this has been an issue for the state. We are now at the juncture of doing the transition from that model, the transfer model, to what is known by the other 48 states as a release-based approach to dealing with hazardous situations on properties that are either shuttered or in the process for economic redevelopment. So that will be actually, it's in the governor's package and before environment, but having started in this committee, having been so rooted in economic development, it is something that we need to keep our arms around as we go forward. And so without further ado, because there's a lot of things we deal with, and I would like to ask our colleagues, and maybe I want to start with my returning colleague, and that is Representative Buckbee, and we will kind of go around, and then we do have people online, do we not, Madam Clerk? So, okay, and then we will get to them too. If you want to introduce yourselves and talk a little bit about your lens into commerce. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's good to be back. I'm Bill Buckbee. I am the state rep for New Milford, 67th District, otherwise known as the best town in the USA. You might have heard me say that once or twice before, only because it is. But it's a wonderful, I haven't been on this committee in a few years, and it's great to be back. I think there's a lot to bring back to this. I think it was some of the topics you just mentioned too, Madam Chair, that from 2017, 2019, when I was ranking on this committee, that I truly enjoyed the work and the process. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to be back on this committee, because the collaboration is fantastic within this committee, probably more than any other in the building. The respect for one another and respect for one another's opinions in this committee really shines through. So I think that's a true sign of the leadership of the committee. So thank you for that. But I think as far as what you bring to it, I think That's the fun part of this committee. It has a lot of different branches to it. There's a lot of different ways to go. I look forward to last time I was on the committee with the good House chair. He was on the committee. We had many great conversations about this, about different topics. I look forward to that. And I certainly want to wish all the best of luck to our new ranking from the House. I think Chris is going to do an amazing job with the committee. I think you'll have a great time working with him as well. And I truly look forward to the action of this committee. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. State Representative Kurt Vale. I represents the towns of Summers, Stafford, Union, and Woodstock. About 30% of our border between Connecticut and Massachusetts. And this will be my second term on this committee. And I'd like to give a shout out to leadership on this committee. Both chairs, Senator Martin, the Senate ranking member. I look forward to working with my colleague, Chris Anaskovich is the new ranking member for us. And the staff we have, Avery Gaddis and Ben Brackey, some of the best in the building. But with the leadership, we agree on a lot of stuff in here, and we do some good work. And this group is very hardworking leadership, and they're genuine and they care about commerce in the state of Connecticut. I saw that over the last 2 years. So I look forward to being part of that again. We don't always agree, but when we don't, there's always respect. There's no animosity, and I look forward to working on it again. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. My name is Representative Kara Rochelle. I represent the 104th House District in Sonia and Derby. This will be my fourth time on the Commerce Committee. I keep coming back. And I'm also the Vice Chair of Higher Ed and Employment Advancement. I'm really focused and excited to work on additional policies regarding manufacturing. The Transfer Act is near and dear to my heart. And also talking about big box stores and what we can do to creatively repurpose those and support the repurposing of those. That's an issue that's not going to go away, particularly in economically distressed communities, seeing what we can do to revitalize those big empty stores in this modern time. Thank you.
And Senator Martin, just on time. And I am derelict in saying that I am very happy to have Senator Martin returning as ranking on this committee, and also our new House ranking, Chris Anaskovich, who has previously been on the committee, so he's no stranger to these subjects. Looking forward to his leadership as well. And congratulations to both of you. And Henry, right on cue.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. I apologize for being late. Ave, thanks for the text. I appreciate it. You get me moving from where I'm supposed to be. But thank you. I am encouraged by having been on this committee for, I don't know, 6 years now. And it's always a pleasure to work, first of all, with my co-chairs, and the productivity that we get out of this committee, I think speaks volumes to pointing the state into the right direction, so to speak. And, you know, there's a lot of things to fix. That's why we're here. And working with these two and the rest of this committee, it's a joy for me anyway to see that there are results, actual results that come out of this committee. And I think that's why we get elected, to bring some results that are positive to the state, specifically economically wise. And I think the stats clearly show that that we are moving in the right direction. So I look forward to see what we gets out of this committee this year. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Good morning, and thank you everyone for the kind words at the election of the ranking member for this committee. I'm looking forward to it. I'm Chris Anaskovich, and I serve the 35th District, so I serve Clinton, Killingworth, and Westbrook. It's my second term here on the Commerce Committee, and it was one of the first committees that I really wanted to get onto when I became elected. And I think it brings a lot to the table. There are a lot of things that we're working on here that are important things for the state of Connecticut, and I think the camaraderie here on this committee and being able to work together in the bipartisanship at this table is one of the things that's very important to me, because in order for us to advance and to move things along, that is what you need. So we'll be working on a lot of great things, and I think with the group of people that are here at this table, we'll do great things. So thank you.
Good morning. I'm Jason Bucksbaum. I represent the 69th House District, which includes Southbury, where I'm from, Bridgewater, Roxbury, and a sliver of Bill's New Milford. I'm a new legislator, so it's my first term. Excited to be here with all of you. These are important issues as we work together to grow our state, grow our economy, promote business, to attract and maintain business in our state. They're important discussions. I like what I've heard this morning. I look forward to working with everyone collaboratively as we face these issues during the next 2 years. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Eilish Collins Main. I'm a new rep. I represent downtown Stamford, Chapin, the South End. As you know, Stamford is the second largest city in our state. It's also the growth engine for our economy. And the mayor of Stamford was the former chair of the Commerce Committee. So I look forward to the work here and working closely with her on all these important issues. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is John Santinella. I represent the 58th District, which encompasses half of Enfield. I am really honored to be part of this committee. Economic development is a huge priority for us in Enfield. We have significant issues to address, some of which you have mentioned, and I am very much looking forward to rolling up my sleeves and doing hard work with the committee, which I have been told is one of the hardest working in the legislature. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Santinello. And Madam Clerk, I think we have several of our members that are remote this morning. So Senator Summers, is she first on deck?
Good morning. My name is Senator Heather Summers. I represent the 18th District, 8 towns in Eastern Connecticut, with the #1 tourist destination being Mystic, Connecticut. I'm returning to Commerce. I've been on Commerce now 3 terms, not consecutively, but I'm looking forward to doing the work that we need to do in the Commerce Committee. Welcome to all the new members.
And Senator Rahman is on as well. Tricia?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. Congratulations to all my colleagues, and welcome to our new members. Madam Chair, I am serving 4th Senate District, which is including Manchester, Glastonbury, Andover, and Bolton. This will be my 2nd term. And reason I serve this committee, I own and operate number of businesses and corporations. I know that 2024, Connecticut created over 15,000 jobs. That's including my own company, almost 500 people I hired. And I know that our small business is the backbone of our economy, not Wall Street business. And of course, the local business are the machine of our economy. So we must support them to creating more jobs and supporting and serving our community. And I'm looking forward to work with you all. I have a number of concept and idea to start a business, how we can help driving more, opening the business, creating the jobs. So month ahead, I will speak about those ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. And Representative Kite, who is a new member to our committee. Oh, and ranking. No, VP.
VP, sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I apologize for not being there. I had a meeting where there's school superintendents down here in Fairfield. I represent part of Fairfield and part of Trumbull. It's my 2nd term. First term to Commerce, which is a departure for me. I've been focusing on public health and children's and human services, but quickly recognize that in order to help as many people as possible in Connecticut, we do need to grow our economy. I'm very involved. I'm the co-chair for our 2Gen initiative. So I'm very excited to work with this committee to find ways to build economic opportunities for everybody in the state. And one thing that is important to my district is how we can help failing malls really revitalize themselves in transformative ways that help not only those businesses, but the regional economies as well. Here in Trumbull, we have a mall that's struggling. It's a leading employer for Bridgeport. It's a significant tax base for Trumbull. So many different communities are affected. So I'm really looking forward to working with this committee to affect some real important and transformational changes for Connecticut's economy. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome, Representative Kite. And Representative McGorty, returning to our committee, and so happy to have him. Is he on deck?
Yeah, I am here. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Welcome.
Can you hear me okay?
Can do, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, it's a pleasure to be back on this committee. It is one of my favorite because we do work as a team, and I like that you said that right out of the gate. And I come from the 122nd District with Shelton, Stratford, and Trumbull. I am surrounded by manufacturing and businesses, and one of the largest in the state, Sikorsky, which is really good and it feeds everybody. So anything we can do with this committee to help all of the business and industry and manufacturing in the state, I'm here to help and work with everybody to get it done. And welcome everybody this year.
Thank you, Representative McGorty. And also just joining us in the room and a returning committee member, very important to the Commerce Committee because of his background and understanding, is Senator Needleman. And not to get you walking in, but you're on, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Always look forward to working on this committee with the able leader that we have here. As a owner of a manufacturing company in my district that employs a couple hundred people, I feel like I have an investment in trying to make sure that people understand what it takes for businesses to succeed in Connecticut and love being part of it. The yeoman's work on the Transfer Act a few years ago by the chair is still ongoing, but we're making some progress, I hope. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator, and your involvement in that has been pivotal. And so that's a perfect transition because I did want to announce to you all that this committee is integral to the Manufacturing Caucus. And you are our core members of the Manufacturing Caucus. We were hoping to tee up that caucus this week, but you know, things are just really getting stood up here. So we are a B committee Tuesday, Thursday, and we typically meet at 11 o'clock. Now and again, there may be a change based upon rooms. We book rooms, as our clerk will tell us, 2 weeks in an interval. And there is, quite frankly, a competition about these rooms. So that, you know, we like to be in the same room as best we can. We will be, and also to kind of keep consistency on the time. So our next day would be Tuesday, the 14th. And if we are able to put together a substantive meeting on the Manufacturing Caucus, we will probably do it then. But Tricia will be noticing all of you on that. And the Manufacturing Caucus, I'll just note, is open to all members of the General Assembly, but you folks are key to it. Closing remarks from my co-chair and rankings.
I would just say the things I left out in my opening comments were, I think, some of the interesting things we did in the last session. We reformed the Community Economic Development Fund, the CDF, which was a financial institution which helped them to grow their business with some regulatory changes we enacted. And that was with the cooperation or guidance from both the ranking and from his Chief of Staff Avery. I want to thank you for that. And additionally, we increased the brownfield remediation funds, which I think were intrinsic to getting brownfields back on the tax rolls. So we'll be looking to hear from DECD what the take-up has been on the increased funding for brownfield remediation. I think was the key to economic development of the state. So I think those are two that I'm particularly proud of. And I think we brought economic rationale to to the State Historic Preservation Office. So I think there we can look forward to seeing good, sound economic decisions as we conserve our history, but expand and renovate our factories and properties that need to go back on the tax rolls. So I think those are three things I'm pretty proud we accomplished. And along those same lines, and along the comments from most of us, the state does best when we lift all the boats, and one of the key boats is economic development and opportunity. And I think I'm confident that the group is unified. You know, we may be not completely unified on the strategy, but we're unified on the goal, which is economic development and lifting people out and growing the economy. And I'm thrilled to have this group in front of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Muskers. Senator Martin, yeah. Representative Anaskevich. Just one last note, should have mentioned this earlier, and we are blessed to have a new liaison for the Department of Economic and Community Development. That is none other. It's a very familiar name and face to us. That's Bree Wolf. And she's stepping into the shoes of Katie Starkonder, but very, very well briefed to do that. So she'll be our go-to person. Are there other matters that we neglected? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved and seconded. We stand adjourned. Thank you all.